Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Shubha Mangalarti Japa session and short Bhagavatam class. Today is 7th June 2023. So let us start our short Bhagavatam class without much waiting. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we have been hearing the conversation between Narada Maharshi and Vyasadeva. The flowchart goes like this: the first canto, 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Narada Muni explaining his previous birth and how he had been elevated by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So today we are going to have 1.6.36. So this is a Narada concludes and he departs. But before that, how does he enlightens Vyasadeva? So this verse section is talking about most suitable board to cross material world is devotional service and constant chanting of the Lord's activities. This is what the topic of today's words. It's very wonderful. I have gone through insights of this, and Srila Prabhupada purport is so wonderful. And let me share with you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Mudreyet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langaite Giring Yat Krupatvam Mahamande Sri Guru Tinatarama Paramananda Madhavam. Okay, any devotee can repeat after me. Sarvam tad idam akhyatam.
Sarvam tat idam akhyatam.
Sarvam tad idam akhyatam.
Sarvam tat idam akhyatam.
Prusto aham tvaya naga.
Yat prishto aham tvaya nagha.
Prusto aham tvaya naga.
Yat prishto aham tvaya nagha.
Janma karma rahasyam me.
Janma karma rahasyam me.
Janma karma rahasyam me.
Janma karma rahasyam me.
Bhavataschatma toshanam.
Bhavataschatma toshanam.
Bhavataschatma toshanam.
Bhavataschatma toshanam.
Thank you, Mataji. Word meaning, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sarvam, all that idam, this akhyatam described, yet whatever, prustaha, asked by, aham, me, tvaya, by you, anagha, without any sense, janma, birth, karma, activities, rahasyam, mysteries, me, mine, bhavataha, your, cha, and atma, self, toshanam, satisfaction. Translation: O Vyasadeva, you are freed from all sins. Thus, I have explained my birth and activities for self-realization as you asked. All this will be conducive for your personal satisfaction also. purport. Purport then and there I can try to explain. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya Chakshmurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapati Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shabishakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantar Hada Kanta Namostume Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Umacha Kalpatarupyasya Krupa Sindhupya Yevacha पतितानां पापनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Purport. The process of devotional activities from the beginning to the stage of transcendence is all duly explained to satisfy the inquiries of Vyasadeva. Narada has explained how the seeds of devotional service were sown by transcendental association and how they gradually developed by hearing the sages. The result of such hearing is detachment from all worldliness, so much so that even a small boy could receive the death news of his mother, who was his only caretaker, as the blessings of God, and at once he took the opportunity to search out the Lord. A sincere urge for having an interview with the Lord was also granted to him. Although it is not possible for anyone to see the Lord with mundane eyes, he also explained how, by execution of pure transcendental service, one can get rid of the repetitive action of accumulated work, and how he transformed his material body into a spiritual one. The spiritual body is alone able to enter into the spiritual realm of the Lord, and no one but a pure devotee is eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. All the mysteries of transcendental realization are duly experienced by Narada Muni himself, and therefore, by hearing such an authority, one can have some idea of the results of devotional service, which are hardly delineated even in the original texts of the Vedas. In the Vedas and Upanishads, there are only indirect hints to all this. Nothing is directly explained there, and therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of all the Vedic trees of literatures. Om Tat Sat. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Veshtai Bhutale Sevite Jai Patak Swami Namane Namo Acharya Padaya Nithai Kupapadayane Gaurkata Damdaya Nagaragram Tarane Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Veshtai Bhutale Sevite Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachanta Deshatarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So what do you see on the screen? Can somebody help me? Hare Krishna.
Not anything now, Prabhu.
Okay. No, is it I stopped the screen sharing?
Yes, we can't see anything. That is you and the wonderful sea behind you. That's all.
Okay. So there is only me.
Yeah, nothing else, Prabhu.
Can
It's not.
someone pin me so that I will come on the highlight? I do not know what is that command. Can someone make me spotlight something? Okay. So there is a one famous verse in Bhagavad Gita 4.9 Janma karma chame divyam yevam bhaveti tattvataha tvekta deham punarjanma neti mameti so arjuna. This 4.9 is very wonderful words. The Lord, Supreme Lord says, whoever knows me, my appearance and my activities, which are very divine, does not upon leaving the body come to this material world again, but he will come back to me. So here we can also understand that since we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and the pure devotees who are very representatives of the Lord, whoever here their Janma Karma also, they will be having a wonderful enlightenment and self-realization also. And this is very wonderful, Narada Maharshi was saying. So his devotees, their appearance also very wonderful, just like how Vasudeva appeared, and later on, the parampara has descended with wonderful pastimes of the devotees. And when we hear actually the pastimes of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord's devotees, and it's so exciting. For example, starting from our parampara, acharyas are there. So Krishna himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he appeared. It's wonderful, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Vrindavan Das Tagore, they have written about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but whatever, how much they can remember, they wrote it. And in various other literatures also, about Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, about Vrindavan Das Tagore also has been explained. And the Panchatattva, each Panchatattva is so ecstatic story they have. And whoever hear their life and their activities, and we are so exalted, and we are enlightened, and we would meditate how this particular devotee has done wonderful service to the Lord, what kind of austerities he has taken, how much pain he has taken to convert general public into Krishna consciousness. And so these are very wonderful words. So as you know, there are 9 stages of bhakti, like Shraddha, Sadhusangam, Bhajana Kriya, Narta Nivrutti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and finally Prema. So all these ecstatic stages of bhakti we can see in the life of a devotee of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself showed it. And we have, Sripada Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya and even Shankaracharya, and why not our Srila Prabhupada? And if anybody, like I am talking about, person who is not a devotee, if he can read Srila Prabhupada's biography, and a part of that, if he can able to read, he will be so mesmerized. And Prabhupada disciples also. For example, I heard some of my colleagues. So, and that lady was glorifying His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Like, the journey home, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he wrote a book, This lady happened to read that book, and, she was sharing whole office, like, how this person came from US, and he was traveling into the various other countries, and finally he came to Himalayas, and he did some tapas there in a small cave, guha, and how he also approached many other saintly persons. But one day when he was in a place, Srila Prabhupada came, he happened to meet Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada accepted him as a disciple, and he became a wonderful devotee. Still, Maharaj is living and guiding and converting so many people in Krishna consciousness, connecting to Guru and Krishna. In this way, that lady is, completely transformed. Now she is chanting the holy name of the Lord. She has done 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and she was mentioning, except Bhagavad Gita, I have read all other books. Then she realized the actual gist is there only in Bhagavad Gita. She came to know, and she started our Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. First, slightly she heard about Radhanath Maharaj, and she heard about Srila Prabhupada. Then she started reading Bhagavad Gita. So how this I am correlating with the Narada Maharshi's points also. Janma, karma, the words which is used here. He says, Janma Karma Rahasyam Me. This is actually secrets of the life. Even these secrets are not at all mentioned in any Vedas or any Upanishads. That is only for official it is mentioned, but in detail we need to hear from this Guru Parampara. So coming to the point, how the seed of devotional service is also sown. Like there is one famous verse, uh, Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Beach. And this does not happen all of a sudden. A person is supposed to have done a lot of previous service in his previous lives. But that is also does not matter. If we being devotees of the Lord, if we can able to chant the holy name of the Lord and make others hear, and we can help others in giving Krishna consciousness in the form of Srila Prabhupada books, or prasadam, or devotees association, or inviting them to the temple, having make them darshan of their lordships Radha Krishna, surely they will get fed. Whatever, however papi he may be, she may be, but if you bring them, you connect them to Guru and Krishna, they will be purified. And it's not that demons cannot become devotees. It is possible only, but the Supreme Lord, He will take care of that. We don't have to do anything. We should act just as an instruments. And we sometimes our devotees are also very much puffed up. Prabhu, I only connected Prabhu this person. Now today he became initiated. And he wants to have his own glorification. This is what a very subtle. Sense gratification, puja, labha, pratishtha. Everybody should glorify me, and I want to be very famous, even in the devotee communities also. These are the degradation of our devotional service. We should be very careful. I mean, anyway, coming to the point, how the devotional seed has been sown means, if we are connecting somebody by our plain heart, saying that this person would have done so many papas, that does not matter. Today I am being the instrument in the hands of my Guru and Krishna. I brought this person to the temple. I invited this person to Bhakti Vriksha. I invited this person to Ratha Yatra, Janmastami, Gaura Purnima. Then the Lord will take care. So that's why we should connect them and should not expect any results, and we should be very favorable and facilitate that particular new person. So in this way, the seed of devotional service is sown so that that person will become a wonderful devotee one day. So here the hearing is very, very important. Like Vasudev also very attentively heard from Narada Muni. Hearing, and he was so transformed. In between, he asked so many questions also, which Narada Muni has nicely cleared. So after that, what happens? The result of such hearing is detachment from the sense gratification, or detachment from this so-called worldliness. Now, if we can hear from a pure devotee, automatically, day by day, gradually, the subtle sense gratification which has stored in our heart for the time immemorial, for the last so many births, that can be vanquished. But it's not all of a sudden. Just like, there is a mechanic, he has some dirty hands with oil and grease. With a normal soap, it does not go. So he has to use some detergent or rin, something he has to wash it, then only it will go. In the same way, in our heart, we have stored a lot of anarthas, kama, krodha, mada, moha, macharya, false ego, envying others. So much we have stored. And that will vanquish only by hearing the holy name of the Lord and hearing the Lord pastimes. Not only that, the Supreme Lord's pure devotees, their charita, their pastimes, and their service to the Lord, if we hear, and it is so purifying agent for us. This has been benedicted by the Lord Himself, not only myself, but my pure devotees, whoever are there. If you can hear from them, you will be transformed, you will become a devotee. That's what Lord says. So one day, Ganga Mata was crying and crying. Why? Because all the papis are coming and taking bath in my river. and they are depositing all these sinful sins in me. How can I? When will I be purified? And she prayed the Lord. Then the Lord replied, "You all know all this." The Lord replied that, "Don't worry, my pure devotees who are Vaishnavas, when they come and take bath in your river, all those sins will be vanquished and you will be purified. And thereby you are also serving non-devotees and devotees also." So in this way, Lord devotee is also more powerful. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord himself says, "Madbhaktya pujya abhi adhikam." Worshipping me, not much is there, but worshipping my devotees is greater than worshipping me. In this way, we should be very carefully deal with the devotees of the Lord. Okay, a sincere urge for having an interview with the Lord was also granted for him. So Narada Maharshi, all of a sudden, he lost his mother. So this is all Lord's arrangement only. Because had he not lost his mother, he would have been, attached with his mother, and he will be traveling here and there, and he may not be much devoted. So now you have only one person who you are depending upon, and Lord will take them away also, so that you can 100% depend on the Lord. So Narada Muni, he meditated on the Lord. Then Lord appeared in his heart, and the Lord gave a lot of benedictions and blessings and instructions. And the moment he left that body, then he became a son of Brahma. And the Lord also awarded him a big instrument, Veena, by name Mahati, and he is blessing. So normally people, they require Pushpak Viman to go to other planets or maybe other. Somebody, they have to use some vehicles, like Lord Indra uses, Airavat, Brahma uses Swan, like that. But you don't have to use anything. With the same self body, you can travel any planet. You can come to my bedroom also, Vaikuntha. Does not matter. So in this way, Lord has awarded him. So Narada Muni went traveling all over the world, glorifying the Lord and converting so many thousands and thousands of people into Krishna consciousness. The same our parampara is also doing, Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. And importantly, our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jagadak Swan Maharaj, his biography is so wonderful. Whoever reads or hears about Guru Maharaj, his pastime, like how when he was born in US and later, he became a wonderful devotee by the Association of Devotees, and he did a nail to Ratha. Then he became a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and immediately Srila Prabhupada awarded him a sannyasa initiation. And till today, now Guru Maharaj is in New Orleans or in Dallas, and till today, for the last 50 years, non-stop, he is speaking Krishna Katha, Gaur Katha. So Guru Maharaj, his life, if anybody hears, and they will become a devotee. So this is the wonderful, arrangement done by the Lord. Okay, so how would we react if we lost our mother? For example, Narada Muni lost his mother. If materially, if anybody lost their mother, they would react like anything, and they will keep mother's photo somewhere in the room. They garland daily, and they do agarbatti. And whoever come to their house, he will start explaining about his mother. And the people who come to his house, they run away. And they will never talk to him, because he always talks about his mother. Of course, if mother is a devotee, that's all right. If it is a karmi mother, then it is very difficult for others to tolerate such people. So here we can also understand that what is the eligibility to enter Goloka. So this is, our own material body is not at all sufficient. It is neither qualified nor purified, the material body. That's why, and we should have take to the devotional service, chant the holy name of the Lord, take devotees association, and our body will completely become a spiritual, and one day it will be, get the eligibility to enter into the Golaka Vrindavan. And not an ordinary person can enter into the Golaka Vrindavan, only a person who is a devotee of the Lord. So this is the criteria and the eligibility mentioned by the Lord himself. So another point which Prabhupada emphasized in this verse is, there are some karmakandis, there are some smartas, there are so many other jnanis. They refer all these Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, and see, especially in the Vedas and Upanishads, it's not directly mentioned, and it has got some secrets also. So, for example, if we say Ishavasham Vida Sarvam Etkinta Jagatyan Jagatyena Taktena Bunjita, but Krishna name is not there, isn't it? So the Supreme Lord name is already there in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is the matured, ripened fruit of all the Vedas, and including Bhagavad Gita also. The most secrets in the hearts of pure devotees are revealed by the pure devotees. Therefore, we are supposed to hear the pure devotees very attentively. In our temple, there are so many sannyasis and maharajas. They are coming and they are giving from the core of their heart. And we should remember all those things. We should take advantage and sitting in their class and taking a pen and paper. We should note down all these key points. Otherwise, there is no scope of our spiritual progress. So, concludingly, nothing is directly explained in the Vedas, Upanishads. We must therefore hear from the pure devotee the pastimes of the Lord, the appearance of the Lord, and also the pure devotees of the Lord. And what do they say about the Lord? They don't have their own self-boasting, but they talk about only the Supreme Lord and the Lord, how he activated. So, for example, I can share you when Narsimha appeared, even his before appearance, Prahlada came to know that Narsimhadev is already there in the pillar. He is waiting for him. Like the moment Prahlada says, yes, my Lord is there in this pillar also, then the Lord, immediately appears. And this we came to know by His Holiness, Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Similarly, there are so many secrets there because the pure sannyasis, they are carrying Radha Krishna in their heart. And they can only reveal all these secrets. That's why we must take this advantage. If any sannyasi, any devotee, they speak Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we must take this advantage and we will be benefited. And we should not stop there also. We also should share with others, like, Lord appeared like this and he did like this. We need to share like Varaha, Vamana, Kurma, Narsimha. Like, for example, Kurma Avtara, Lord appeared because these demigods and the demons, they were churning, all this, Samudra Manthan Leela, you all know. But for some time, what happened? This Mount Meru, they were churning, and the Vasuki is getting a lot of pains. It's almost like dying. Then at that time, Lord came in the Kurma Avtara. He lifted the mountain, and the churning was very easy for them. So when the mountain was on the back of the Kurma, on the back of the Lord, when these demons and demigods, they were churning, Lord, they felt, slightly itching. If somebody does massage for, or, some itching type, Lord, he was feeling like that. So, coming to the point, if such pastimes are shared with others, then they will be also enlightened. They like to hear more and more from the Lord. If any pure devotee chants the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we are next to him also, we are also, what do you say? We are also contaminated, polluted by the holy name of the Lord, which is very auspicious and also eligibility for going back to the Godhead. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity and patiently hearing me with the early in this morning. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna.